Right, I'm hoping everything's working now. It looks like it is. We've got no game audio, but I'll sort that out as we go. Right. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another season of Competitive Speed Series. And, well, we're here in Australia for a new tier. It's not PS. It's not PS. It's not console. No, it is console. Let's try that one again. It's not PS. It's not Xbox. We are here for the first ever round of the console tier, where the best drivers from console, all platforms, come together to try to be the best, to be the king of console. And, well, we've got our first drivers out on track already. Thomas will be the first one around. The BRT driver is heading through Sector 2. Now, we're here in Australia, probably the right track for round one of the season. And, well, look, listen, that's my personal view, and my personal view is right. So that's what we're going to go with. And Thomas, yeah, coming through the second sector now and heading on to the third. It's a very, very different track, mainly in this corner than any others. It sticks out a little bit more than the last few years. And now Thomas coming around the final couple of corners. We will see what sort of times the drivers will be setting. As I mentioned, these are the best ones on console. And Thomas will come across the line to set a 1 minute 15.737. Already displaced by his teammate Murphy, who goes up a second quicker than Thomas into the 114s already. That looks like a strong lap, though, compared to what everyone else is sticking in, as Gabor goes in 115.1, Dornax 115.6. We're watching on board with Alex Lofer as he comes around the final couple of corners. What is the Ferrari able to do? It's going to be a 1 minute 15.1. Got, well, 5 drivers now. No, 4 drivers even slotting into the 115.1s. Is Marlon going to be the 5th? No, just outside. 1 minute 15.256. Slotting in 7th place, the 2 NLR drivers finding themselves in 6th and 7th. And Simbarox is apparently out on track, but apparently in the pits as well. So this is a great start. Love a cheeky bit of F124. Okay. I mean, if you like Simbarox, we can watch as he traverses the Williams pit lane. I'll be very intrigued to see what time he sets. I'm hoping it's going to be pole position, because this will be a great lap for the TikTok. A great lap to see. Right, 42 seconds. So he's about halfway through the lap now. He should be probably splitting maybe sector 2, sector 3 now. Coming round now. I think this is the final segment. No, he's invalidated. He's invalidated. So we won't be seeing Simbarox set a lap in the pit lane. Carrasco comes in. Matisse is also in the pit lane. What is up with this game? Right, it says Simbarox is in the pit now. He's appeared. Okay, wonderful. But indeed, what on earth is going on with this game today? We've got 4 drivers out on the track, ready to set their first times of this season. And we've got Simbarox and Matisse in the pits. Well, Simbarox allegedly has spent the entire time in the pits, apart from his in-lap. So we'll watch on board with AGK Racing on a lap around the Melbourne Park circuit, the Albert Park circuit. Well, that's an off-board. We're back on board with the McLaren, as I've misclicked there. And, well, we'll watch turn number 1. It's a big minute. You're trying to keep your minimum speed up. AGK has kept it up a little bit too much and has gone off the circuit. He is invalidated on his time. Adis is heading through sector 1, as well as Quantum, who's behind, and Lifebout, who is also behind. Adis has invalidated on his lap, so a couple of invalidations coming in. And I don't know what's going on with the times had problems the last few weeks. It's the first time I've ever seen a driver in the pits driving. Everyone else seems pretty okay, I think. We'll see. We'll see. As I said, love a bit of cheeky F124. Life back comes round. He's got 3 corners to go, 2 braking zones, and we'll see where the Alpine's able to slot himself. His teammate is currently in 9th place with a 1:15.5. Jay Murphy is 0.3 faster than everyone else at the top of the field at the moment. Lifeback looks to change that, but he's not going to. He finds his way into 8th place. And Chelsea, he's going to go for another lap. Matisse is on a lap. No, he's not. Quantum comes around the final corner. He's invalidated. Adis, I believe, set a 1:15.3, but he'd invalidated. He's invalidated yet again, but it's on his in-lap, so who cares? We've got drivers on their second push laps now, and we will see where Mr. Murphy is going to come out with that second lap. Is he going to get any quicker than 1:14.824? At the moment, he is. He's almost an entire 10th up. Never mind, he's invalidated his lap, and we'll go and watch on board with, not Tony. Who's at the end of a lap? There's a Haas. Phil's on an out lap. He's invalidated, whoever that was. Mercedes, nope. Gabor, has he improved on his time at all? No, he's actually invalidated. Tony, we'll go back on board with you, mate, as we are heading through the second sector. We've improved by a huge margin in that first sector, and I think this is likely to be an improvement on that lap that we saw him put in. A 1:15.128 is improved by 3.5 tenths. So this could be up there with Mr. Murphy, the BRT driver, the 2 TF10s coming in 3rd and 4th at the moment. And Tony looks like he's going to improve. Ryan becomes the second driver into the 1:14s. It's just about 4 thousandths in. Max van der Geest heads up, and he will split Jay Murphy and Ryan. But Tony is on an absolute flyer, and he's going to come around the corner. He is going to head across the line, and it's going to be a 1:14.783. Just a bit lower. No, just a bit higher even. A bit slower is what I meant to say, than the pole time that's been put in the chat. If you agree or disagree with the fact that the pole time is going to be lower than a 1:14.750, put it in the chat at the moment. I'm putting my vote in as lower because, well, Tony, 1:14.7 already, and he's got time in the session to go. I'm not going to show the ERS. Good try. Marlon across the line, 1:15.124. The line was later than I thought it was. I've been told not to. So this is the big ace has meant that you can't see the ERS. Carrasco, couple of corners. We'll see what the Ferrari is able to do. And his teammates in 1:15.1s. Carrasco 1:15.2. And you just said you said I couldn't show it. You just said I couldn't show it. I'll show it now. Absolutely fine. Dornax was improving, but then he invalidated in sector 3. And yeah, the Haas is on an in-lap. Simbarox heading through sector 2 and has invalidated. Lots of invalidations as soon as I switch over to them. Can they not, please? AGK 43.4 through the second sector. And the McLaren heads now into sector 3, through sector 3. And we'll see what sort of time he will get up to. His teammate currently doesn't have a time, so we can't exactly compare it to the other AMS driver. And 2 more corners to go. Is it AMS? No, it's not. I'll bring the spreadsheet up while I'm here. But anyway, AGK across the line. What sort of time is the McLaren going to set? 1:15.168. So he has gone up quite significantly. Well, quite significantly from last. So, I mean, it's something. The next driver, Adis, he's on a push. Jay Murphy, surely he's not on a push. Hey, he's got a full ERS tank, which I'm allowed to show you now. I'm allowed to show you it. Murphy across the first sector split time. It's purple, allegedly, as he's improved by 0.5 tenth in that first sector. Where is the Kick Sauber going to place his car? His teammate is currently in 15th place, so he's not really a benchmark. The benchmark at the moment is Tony on the front, well, on the front one. with Jay Murphy on the front row. He's improved by almost a tenth in the first 2 sectors, cutting that corner. But one tyre on the circuit is enough to keep it going. And bit wide around. Well, he's a bit wide around there. He's got a couple corners to go. Where is Jay Murphy going to go? He's improving by a tenth. He could beat 1:14.750, the target set by Ace. And what sort of time is the Kick Sauber going to set? I think that was Sergioli going in. Murphy, lost a lot of time in that final sector. It's that one corner where he ran a little bit wide that I think cost him a lot. Quantum next across the line. NVR currently have a driver in 5th. Where's Quantum going to slot himself? 12th. Not good enough just yet. Chelsea, his lap allegedly disappeared. I don't actually remember seeing him set a time, but his lap disappeared. We'll see what he is capable of as he comes round the final corner. And Chelsea is on for a 1:15.329. We'll go on board with the pole man. We'll go on board with Mr. Tony. We'll see how he's able to set a 1:14.789, because personally, I don't understand how they're that quick. We've still got 4 drivers only in the 1:14. Should I get rid of the ERS? That would be funny if I just got rid of it. The chat would go crazy. All 2 people begging for ERS. Nope, Tony's not improved in the first sector. 8 hundredths is what he is behind his previous time, but not much ERS used. And so Tony will have more. He'll be able to push more. I don't know if you heard that ping just there. That's Ace telling me to telling me to get rid of the ERS. I reckon so. I reckon I'll do it at the crucial time. We've got 4 minutes left in the session. Tony's not improving on his time. Ryan's not improved. Alex is not improving. Marlon is improving, but only just. He would go up into 6th, maybe 5th along this trajectory. But that was only the first sector. The second sector, Marlon across it is improving by almost half a tenth. And yeah, we'll see where the Mercedes slots himself. Both the NLR drivers, they've got the right name they've got the right team name in there. No, there is no game audio. I don't know why. I've been trying to fix it, but it's not been working. 2 more corners to go. Make that a pit lane as Marlon comes in. That was a pretty good save, to be fair. Carrasco not pushing. Dorlax, what are you doing? He'll come across that line in a second. He's pushing, I think. And he'll come across the second sector split time with a 46. 3 seconds off. Never mind, he's not pushing. Simbarox. Is he pushing? Or is he already improved? And he's on his in lap. We'll see. I think he's already improved. Yeah, indeed, he has. So we've got 3 minutes left in the session. And we're likely to get one final run from every single one of these drivers. I am just going to try and sort out the audio because I don't know why it's not working either. And is it that one? No. Is it? I've got many inputs. Is it just that one? No. Okay. I've got many inputs, but it's not the one. None of them are the one that I want. So, oh well. We live. We move. I say that I'm still trying to sort it out because I want to hear the audio. That one? Nope. I'm sure ES is going to join in a minute and tell me what to do. But for the moment, this is what we deal with. We deal with no game audio. And anyway, back to the topic at hand. Drivers are coming out now for their final runs. Tony Ritchie is the man to beat at the moment. 1:14.789. We've got a clump of drivers, 5th to 10th, within a tenth of each other. And Murphy will see what time the Kick Sauber is able to do, pushing through Sector 1. This is where they're really going to push. And we're going to really see the track evolution as he heads through now Sector 1. Tiny bit of a lock-up. Is he pushing? I can't quite tell. I'm sure, yeah, he is. Okay. there's a couple of points where he looked a little bit indecisive, but I think he's just maybe taking it a little bit carefully, and he's not quite improved. He's only down by 100th of a second. The Kicksauber now heading through sector number 2, and we'll see what sort of time he's got as he heads up to the line. He's got his teammate a little bit ahead of him, but ghosting is on, so no slipstream is enabled. He's improved in that second sector, but overall it's not an improvement. It's 4 thousandths down on his previous time, and Jay Murphy has just 1 sector to go to try to cut off 3 tenths to go up into that pole position spot, currently held by Tony Ritchie with a 114.789. It could get down to the hundredths. It could get down to the thousandths. Jay Murphy round the final corner. Bit of a wobble. I think this could be the end of his lap, and he's up to the line. Yeah, 115.0 is not enough. Ryan is in 4th place. He's on his final push lap, and he's improved. He's improved by 100th and a half, but then he's invalidated on the next corner, so never mind. Gabor, the next driver I will watch on board with, I think. Methinks as he slides his way through. You sort of have to throw the car and hope it sticks at the moment with... Well, Gabor's not improved in that first sector. We'll see how he does in the second sector. He invalidates. It's that same corner that seems to be getting the same drivers out. Alex Loaf is improving only just. And we'll see where the Ferrari is. The checkered flag has now been waved for all the drivers. And for Tony. No, for Jay Murphy. He will not be improving. For Tony, surely that is pole position sealed for the Aston Martin. For the TF10 driver, Ryan will not be improving. He is retired from the session. He is the first of many. Lifeboat, Quantum, Chelsea and Adis have now come across the line. So is Matisse now. And Alex Loafer up to the line. 114.913. Good. Not good enough for the front row, as he's almost exactly a 10th off of Jay Murphy. These 2 laps at the front proving absolutely dominant. Max van der Gies won't improve thousandths of a second, and so barely any of an improvement. Phil not improving. We'll watch on board with Sergioli. No, we won't. Have I had a disconnect? Or has someone else had a disconnect? I think it's Sergioli at least. I think it may well be me. That's a nice way to come into the chat. Good evening, Joseph. And it's gone. Okay. I reckon you should have left that there, to be honest, Stace. Yeah, I think I've had a disconnect there. Apologies, everybody. And we will be going. Bad timing, wasn't it? I'll be trying to get in as soon as I can. No, none of those. Any of those racing tonight? No. If somebody racing would like to give me an invite, that would be very, very appreciated. I will try and find somebody on that list to join off of. It'll probably be Ryan again, to be honest. No, it won't, because he's on PlayStation. I read the Xbox sign. We have got confirmation of the grid. Tony did end up taking that pole position ahead of Murphy. Alex Loafer in 3rd and Max van der Giest in 4th. Sergioli's time was enough for 5th place, with Ryan slotting in 6th. Then it's Gabor, Marlon, Phil and Lifeboat rounding out the top 10. Then it's AGK in 11th, Carrasco in 12th, Matisse in 13th, and PLX in 14th. Yes, Dom is not here, otherwise don't worry, he would be doing it. Quantum in 15th, Chelsea in 16th, Thomas in 17th, Dornax in 18th, Adis in 19th, and Simbarox are rounding out the grid. You can troll me all you like. I don't care. I reckon I should. Last lap of the race. How about that? I'll watch you on board with Adis, because Adis will be last, surely. I'll switch back. What should I switch to? I'll give you a grid find round. How long has it not been on for? Whoops. I'm trying to find the advert, the season 5 trailer, because I think it's genuinely cool. And I think it'll be a good thing to show at this point. Oh, 2 pings. Oh, they're both the tweet. Follow the Twitter. We're just waiting for drivers to get in, and then we will be starting. Where's the trailer? Where's the trailer? It's gone. Oh. No more cool trailer. Found it. Aha, found it. I will just scene 2. Nope, that's not what I wanted. Anyway, yeah, we're just waiting for everybody to get ready up, and then we're going to go to the race. Put your predictions in the chat. And yeah, because I don't know much, I'll be honest, especially not tonight. Here's a trailer. Nope, there's no audio. Man, I'm washed tonight. This is not going well. Application audio. There we go. Put the trailer back to the start. Was I not in spectator? I literally selected spectator like 3 times. Ow. Anyway, trailer.
Believe my eyes. Down the inside into Casio Triangle. This could end in disaster.
Zach Miles taking the lead.
It was an all or nothing approach for the TF10 team.
And this could be crucial for NBR.
A race to remember for Jeremy Gallagher.
And they are officially the champions of the season.
It does not get closer than that. What a race. What a season.
Welcome back to the competitive.
Nah, you don't have to watch it twice. It's not that good. But yeah, we're waiting. We're waiting for one driver in particular. I won't flame him here. If anyone wants to flame him in chat, I'm not going to say no. But we should be ready to go once. Oh, he's in. He's here. We should be getting going very, very soon. Nobody put race predictions in the chat. Very disappointed in you all. But yeah. So we've got all 20 drivers. The 5 lights are just a couple of minutes away. Thank you for the hundreds, whoever that is. Look at my name below me. Please subscribe to my YouTube. That's not that. It's not there. It's there. Because that would be very cool of you if you did that. Subscribe to this YouTube. We've got 419 subscribers. We're aiming for 500. But I don't know why it takes so long. Yeah, we should be ready to go. Drivers are readying up. And the 5 lights are just a couple of minutes away. I'm going to say that. Ooh, who can I say will win? Who's not on pole? I mean, Jay Murphy's the obvious one. He and Tony just have the measure over the rest of the grid. Gabor, P6. P6 to P1. Easy. And yeah, we are now loading into the lobby. You don't have to look at me anymore. Devastating stuff. Sorry about that. Yeah, there's no chance that we're getting the game audio, by the way. No idea why. But sorry about that. Sorry about that. Sorry about the timing as well. Sorry about everything. Everything. I can apologise for everything. Sorry about Ace, just in general. There we go. The lobby is here. We are here down under for the Australian Grand Prix round 1 of the season. We've got a pretty good season lined up ahead of us. We've got Australia for round 1. Then we head to Barcelona for round 2 around the Circuit de Barcelona, Catalunya. Interlagos is next, December 21st and 22nd, before we take a bit of a break for, Christmas, all that. Then we head back to Bahrain for January the 11th and the 12th, and then a mystery Grand Prix for the 18th and the 19th the week after. This would obviously be the later date, because this is the console side. 18th and 19th. Then the 26th for Austria. Make sure to join us for the PC, by the way, if you don't watch it already, because you've got drivers. You got some of the best PC drivers. Sixten Linhart took the victory last time out. So yeah, make sure that you stick around for that. And put reactions in the chat. It'll be funny. But yes, we'll be getting going in the next couple of minutes. My race prediction is Gabor. Grid Finder. Do something with them. SRC as well. I didn't actually have the SRC ad loaded. Oops. But yeah, you can see all of our partners in the top right of your screens. Grid Finder, Simulus, and Sim Racing Center. Strategies today. I'm just having a think. What are we gonna realistically be on? It's gonna be medium hard or hard medium, as per usual, in every race ever in the world ever, because drivers are boring and they don't want to do exciting strategies. We'll see if we've got anyone on the softs. Nope, you're all boring. Wonderful. Anyway, we're all good. We're just waiting now for everybody to be ready, to have their setup strapped back on, to have their tyres and their fuel ready, and we're going to go to all the tyres are going to be mediums or hards, of course, because that's the tyres that they're on every single race, because they're boring and they're going for the right strategy. But yes, indeed. But yeah, season 5, very exciting and competitive speed series. It will be a incredible season. I can almost guarantee it for you, because, well, especially in the console side, it's just going to get that much better because of the fact that we've combined the Xbox and the PlayStation tiers together, and so we've pushed out a few of those drivers. Not necessarily as good. We've brought in the best from both worlds. We don't have the drivers winner last time out in the PS, Rens Thomason. We do have Gabor, though, racing tonight, with the NVR taking a 1-2 in the drivers, which means they dominated the team standings, 447 points. But we are going to go to the 5 red lights for the Australian Grand Prix. It's lights and it's action. CSS has another season and it's underway. Tony gets a good start. Murphy and Loafer side by side, just behind Murphy down the inside, and he holds on to that position. Further back, Phil and Lifebout are fighting, but Phil takes the lead in that battle. AGK looks to have some sort of issue as he is ghosting, and so he's dropping down the field at a rate of knots. Looking back up, Gabor and Ryan side by side. It's now Ryan and Marlon side by side as Ryan's exit was compromised by trying to fight with the Red Bull. And he drops behind his teammate into P number 8. We've got Dust being kicked up by somebody ahead, but it's not Tony, who was in the lead of this race by 3 whole tenths. And Jay Murphy, not quite close enough to launch an attack just yet, but I'm sure that he'll be preparing it in the next few laps, or maybe the next few corners, because I don't know whether you want the lead in this race. We do have, though, 3 DRS zones, so surely 4 DRS zones even, sorry. Surely you want something along those lines. You want to hold that DRS for as long as you can, but then at the same time, it might be good just to break away from the pack. Jay Murphy will follow through Tony, who is in the lead of this race at the end of lap number 1. I'll show the tyres, because I always do that at the end of lap 1. And we've got Tony, Alex, and Max van der Geest on the medium compounder tyre in the top 10. Carrasco and Matisse just outside on the mediums, and AGK and Adis as well. As yellow flags out as NVR Chelsea is having problems through turn number 1, and he's lost almost half of a front wing. But Adis and Quantum, they're fighting. Adis is coming out on top. He's in P16, but he was already in P16. So yeah, a lot of the drivers on those mediums trying to make their moves forward, but Adis actually making moves backwards behind Quantum, although he was able to steal that position back. Jay Murphy, I think at this point, he'll want to be waiting behind Tony until those mediums go off, and then those hards will become the better tyre to be on in this race. But yeah, for now, he's just going to stay behind Alex, and Max van der Geest will keep him honest on a set of those mediums. And yeah, I mean, it has to be really as soon as they can, when they can get past with the mediums. Then they can work together as a group to break free of the hard runners to make this strategy work, because the faster tyre at the end will be, well, the faster tyre at the end will obviously be the mediums. Jay Murphy could be making a move. No, he's not. He's just staying in behind Tony for now. And the Bunga Racing team driver just sits behind Carrasco. 3 seconds worth of penalties, 4 track limit warnings, and Jay Murphy is right on the rear of Tony as they head through sector 1. He's very much pushing the Aston Martin through the first couple of corners. And it's not like he's trying to conserve his tyres. He's not trying to just back off from the rear of the Aston Martin. Despite the fact that he's on hard, he's cooking those tyres already. So maybe he could just be desperate to get ahead, because we know that the undercut is the main reason why you go on the mediums. And the undercut is incredibly strong on this game. Jay Murphy taking a much tighter line than Tony. Tony swerving his way across the track, and Murphy around the outside. This could be the move for the lead of the race. And it is indeed. He heads up into that first place. Something's happened to Max van der Geest, which means that he's dropped all the way down to P8 from P4. Sergioli, Gabel, Ryan and Marlon making their way through in the meantime. And yeah, Max van der Geest dropping down. That's not going to do TF10 any favours, because he could have worked with his teammate up there. They were the highest up team at that point in time. Ryan sets the fastest lap of the Grand Prix from 6th place, showing that the drivers in the midfield, or the upper midfield, have that pace at the moment. Vote on that poll, by the way. Which team is going to win? Is it going to be TF10, BRT, or AMR? Or is it going to be someone else? I think at the moment, well, obviously BRT are winning. I've still gone for Gabel, so I'm going to go for someone else in that poll, because I think NVR will come out on top. Matisse has dropped behind 2 people. I think he's been having problems. He's having more problems as he is ghosted, and Simbarox is unable to make his way, quite literally, through the McLaren. And is he going to shape up another overtake? It looks like he might be on the man who's on the medium tyres. He could be trying to shape up a move. I might show the ERS. I might do it. No, I'm not going to. Alex Loafer closing in on Tony. Sergioli around the outside of Alex around the final couple of corners. Gabor and Ryan side by side as well. Big slide from Ryan that sees him drop behind Marlon and Max. And Alex Loafer is free to attack ahead. Gabor is also free to attack ahead, but those hards not operating as well as the mediums. We're on to lap 5 of the Australian Grand Prix. Lap 5 of the competitive speed series, season number 5. And so far, all these drivers are... They're showing decent pace. We've got AGK off the field, Dornax off the field, and then Chelsea, who came into the pits as well, off the field. Carrasco and PLX swapping positions. Carrasco moving up into 11th. We've got a full grid, which is good to see. You see some of these drivers racing in other leagues that won't be mentioned, and they don't have full 20 drivers. But alas, in this one, they do. And, well, we should be seeing 20 drivers with some incredible pace. Some similar pace as well. Put in great laps. Chelsea, for example, last place, but with the fastest lap, 1:18.2. DRS is open for Tony. DRS is open for Sergioli. It could be 3 wide. They're not. Tony just staying ahead of the Alpine at the moment. And Jay Murphy just doing enough to cover off for that move. Just having a look now round the final couple of corners is Sergioli, who wants to make that move on Tony. There's yellow flags out as that's AGK and Dornax. AGK's end plate flying off, and Dornax not having enough damage to come into the pits, it looks, and so he should be all right to continue. AGK as well, continuing without an end plate for 18th and 19th. Stay in 18th and 19th. Carrasco's having more problems. Marlon and Gabor are fighting. Gabor, something like that. Gabor staying behind Marlon. That is a move that could be made by Ryan, but isn't on Max van der Geest, who he's not got the pace that all the other medium runners have so far. We have seen pace from them all, even if they have made mistakes or been caught up in incidents that have dropped them to the rear of the field, like AGK did earlier on. Max looking to go ahead rather than behind, and he's going to look maybe to the inside of Gabor, maybe not. He tucks back in. He waits. He's going to wait a while for that Red Bull to get closer again. But he's not there. Looking further up, Sergioli closer than ever to Tony Rich. Max closer than ever to Gabor. So the moves are in the oven, but they aren't yet cooked. And lap 7 of this race, we've still got a while to go. And we should be seeing a move maybe very, very soon. Ryan could be making that move that I mentioned on Max. Max defending the inside, Ryan to the outside. And he's still going to cling onto it. Inside line for the next corner. Still going to cling onto that line. But Max van der Geest in the end beating out Ryan with that superior grip, that superior line. And that superior pace in the end to stay ahead. Gabor picks up 3 seconds worth of penalties. That could be huge in the battle for the middle of the points. Because now I think he's going to get a little bit more elbows out. A little bit more aggressive fighting forward. And hoping that he can pick up the maximum amount of points that he can for NVR, the champion last time out. And he will be looking to do the same again. Ryan to the inside line of Max, dipping a wheel onto the grass. But he's trying to make that move. He's still staying in there. And he makes his way past. Sergioli, in the meantime, made his way past Tony, who the pole sitter dropping down now to P3. Those mediums not working for him. And he's going to try to fight back. 7/10 between Sergioli and Murphy up ahead. So it's not an insurmountable task for Tony to come back into it, especially, or sorry, even on those mediums. But Phil, 3 seconds worth. Matisse, 3 seconds worth. Times are coming in. And so, well, it's very interesting to see the penalties flying in early on in this Grand Prix, as early as lap 8, which means that penalties could have a huge effect on the race. 2-point sitters at the moment do have 3 seconds worth of penalties, meaning that OVR, PLX, and Thomas will make their way into the points. I think that's the maths, if I've done it right. The poll is complete. Another team won with 44% of the vote. TF10 and AMR splitting with 22 and BLT with 11. Max van der Geest, 3 seconds worth of penalties. It's really not his day. Marlon moving up ahead of Alex into P number 4. And the Mercedes just, he's making his way forward now. Those mediums going off, it seems, for some of the drivers. And so the hard runners are looking to take advantage. Marlon trying to close in there. Apologies. Marlon trying to close in now on Tony. Gabor struggling with his race pace. Max van der Gies and Carrasco have come in and they've switched onto the hard compound of tyre. And they're going to come out behind Dornax, but ahead of AGK and Chelsea in P19 and P20. Just having a look for a move is Marlon, who's trying to, they're trying to find gaps, but there's not many gaps in this sector 1, which is where they're going to be closer to the cars in front. Marlon, though, he is incredibly close. He's alongside. He's ahead. Sergioli takes the lead of the race, does the Alpine. And he is up into the lead, a third of the way into this race. And suddenly, the Alpine charge looks a little bit more promising as Quantum picks up 3 seconds. The other Alpine moves past Ryan, who's trying to fight back but doesn't have enough to pull alongside. So yeah, good day so far for the Alpines, but knowing my record now, they're going to have an absolute catastrophe. Is it Sergi Ollie? Have I got it wrong? Murphy, by the way, looking to the inside maybe of Sergi Ollie. Not going for that move, staying in behind, but he's got another DRS zone to go before, well, 2 corners, and then the DRS detection point for the next one. No, what's wrong with my pronunciation of it? We've got Murphy trying to close in. I can just say Sergio, that's fine. Lifebout close to Gabor. Everyone, actually, to be fair, everyone in the top 12 are within DRS. Thomas 3 seconds, the latest driver to pick up 3 seconds, and Lifebout looking to compound the misery on Gabor as Sergio loses the position to Marlon and Murphy as well. And the lead of the race is inherited by the Mercedes, who came from absolutely nowhere. BRT Murphy is trying to find a gap, unable to make it, and just tucks in behind, and so very close behind. The way that he follows is so dangerous, because if the car in front makes even a slight mistake, brakes even a little early, there goes his front wing. And speaking of front wings, Gabor apparently is missing an end plate, so it's not his day. And now we know the reason why Lifebout is out of the DRS of Tony ahead of him. To be fair, I mean, staying in P6 is pretty impressive when you're missing an end plate. Murphy's lifting off. He doesn't want to make that move past Marlon. Sergio doesn't want to make that move either. And Phil makes it past Gabor, who's just, he's not having a good day. And I know I'm going to get rid of the tyres. Everyone's going to be devastated. But he's back into P7, which is where he started. He did make moves forward, but he could be moving down now as Ryan, who started just ahead of him on the grid, P6, pulls alongside and pulls almost ahead. There's another move for the lead of the race. I keep missing them, but Murphy makes his way past Marlon, and he is now up into the lead. Marlon, by the way, starting in 8th place, so that is an impressive run from the Mercedes. And Murphy just holding on to that lead. I think we'll be seeing Tony come in next couple of laps to dispose of those mediums and switch onto the hard compound of tyre. Simbarock's latest driver to pick up 3 seconds. Tony, does he come into the pits this lap? No, he doesn't. Yes, he does. Never mind. He is going to come into the pits. This is an interesting one, because this is one of the drivers that I think will be up there at the end with the lead of the race. He switches onto the hards. Where is he going to come out in relation to the rest of the field? We'll have to wait and see. He's behind P11 at the bare minimum. I think he's going to be behind Alex Lofer, Max van der Giest. He's ahead of his TF10 teammate. And now they get to work together. They are together on track. And they are just behind Alex Lofer, who is 6.6 seconds behind Quantum and the rest of the hard runners. The rest of the field that haven't come into the pits yet. They are currently the leading pack of those who have. Gabor losing another position to PLX. and Thomas looking to shape up a move very, very soon. We'll see with as Gabor picks up more penalties, 6 now, seconds worth. It's just not been his race. Thomas to the outside line. Can he hold on to the position? There's contact. Gabor's gone off, and he's almost gone sliding into the wall because of the result of contact with Thomas. I won't comment any further on that, but feel free to debate it in chat. We've got lap number 14. No, we're still on 13 upon us. And all the top 6 now within DRS, OVR, PLX in 7th. Quite a distance now behind Ryan comparatively, because he's 1.9, almost 2 seconds off of the Mercedes' rear view mirror. And Thomas is 6 tenths behind. Other than that, Simbarox is 5 off of the second kick Sauber. So it's cooking. There's yellow flags out for someone somewhere. It's back to green flag racing, so who knows what that one was about. We've got another move for the lead of the race. Marlon makes his way past Murphy. Ryan makes his way past Phil into P5. Again, I said earlier it was the Alpine's day. It is now turning into the day of the 2 Mercedes, the 2 NLR drivers, 1st and 5th, from much lower down positions on the grid, with, well, P6 and P8. So really going well for them so far in this one, as we're almost reaching the halfway mark of the first round of the season. The halfway mark is about middle of sector 2, I reckon. So Renz, why are you not racing tonight? Murphy closing in on Marlon, lifting off again. He doesn't want to make that move. We've established this now. He doesn't want to make that move, does the kick Sauber. He's insisting that Marlon will stay ahead of him, so he can just continue to be carried by that DRS that he has at his disposal. Sergio behind as well. I think he's looking a bit more racy, but at the moment, he's just happy to slot in with Marlon and Murphy. Murphy, prove me wrong, going for a move. Is he going to get this one sealed? I'd like to say that he is. Yes, indeed. And so is Sergio, who heads through into P2. And it could be another move that he is shaping up for the lead of that race. But the exit out of the chicane just isn't enough. And he could actually fall back into the clutches of Marlon. No, Marlon's too far back. He's defending actually from Lifebout. And they're absolutely fine. They're absolutely fine. Because they're not going to have contact like somebody on the last lap there. They've just gone through absolutely fine. It's Alpine, Mercedes for 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then, well, if Thomas can gain that 3 seconds, make his way past Phil, it'll be Sauber, Alpine, Mercedes, Sauber. Murphy holding onto the lead. He'll be holding onto the lead for another lap at the very least. As Simbarox picks up more penalties. I believe that is his 6 seconds now. Indeed, it is. P9 will quickly become much lower. Alex Lofer dropping behind Max van der Geest into P number 13. And the 2 Aston Martins are now together on the circuits, which could be dangerous. They're now together again on the circuit, which could be dangerous for the cars ahead of them. They've caught up that 6 seconds to Quantum. It's now 1.6. And with a purple sector 1 for the car behind, they are flying. PLX makes his way past Thomas with the DRS. And he should be absolutely... It's a short burst of DRS that just makes a point rather than anything else. There's Gabor. Hello. Why is he down there? He's P18 and he's not coming to the pits. Not his day, as he's fighting with Matisse. He's lost out on that fight. And yeah, he will stay down there. He and Dornax are out of sync with the rest of the field. AGK and Chelsea are... AGK and Chelsea are just... They're gone. They're out of this race now, unless there is a safety car, as Thomas comes into the pits. He's getting rid of those hards, and he's switched to the mediums. That is a very, very interesting strategy, as Max van der Geest picks up the fastest lap of the Grand Prix. So, and he's the one behind in that Aston Martin team. as Quantum now splits the two. They're side by side, wheel to wheel through sector 1. But Tony with just enough gaps. And he moves up into P10 ahead of Quantum, who is the last runner on those hards. That is in sync. Sergio takes the lead of the race ahead of Murphy. He takes it back off of Murphy. Just having a look as Max van der Geest makes his way past Quantum. It's now just over a second, now just under a second, between Simbarox and Tony. They could have an incredible blast forward as they're... Hello, Alex. He's just appeared out of nowhere to make his way past Quantum as well. Tony and Max could work together and just have an absolute flyer. People are coming in earlier onto the mediums than I expected, because those hards are expected to last, for those who switched onto them, they're expected to last about 20 laps. For those who switched off of them, they're only expected to last about 15, 16. So very, very interesting call. Very, very interesting call. To come in this early. Also come in that... yeah, I think it is a call to come in this early. They've now got 12 laps to go. So I think Thomas probably missed the mark a little bit. But I think the drivers will be coming in maybe next lap after. I think that's the more regulation stop, as Marlon makes his way past Sergio into the lead of the race. We will watch now the lead cars, the lead 5 cars, as Adis picks up a 3-second penalty. And it's no longer the lead 5 cars, because Simbarox has been overtaken by the 3 lead hard runners. The engineer having an absolute worldie, from the sounds of things, from the Ferrari garage, just to sit behind the 2 Aston Martins, let them do all the work, and he can slide through as well. It is pit lane for Marlon and for Sergio, so we'll see where they come out in relation to the rest of the grid. They'll be hoping to come out ahead at least of Jay Murphy. Phil with 3 seconds worth of penalties. He is just compounding his race. He's currently in P2, so he's hoping for a safety car, but at this point, I think it's unlikely. They're going to come out of the pits. BRT, Jay Murphy is going to get ahead of both of them, but Ryan's going to split the 2, as the 2 Mercedes are now 9th and 10th, and Sergioli sits in P11. I'll switch back to the interval one now. I think whoever wanted the leader one has had enough of their fill. Murphy's just outside of the DRS of Quantum. Marlon's just outside of the DRS of Murphy. And Ryan is just outside of the DRS of Marlon. So it's incredibly close. Purple sector, allegedly, from Jay Murphy. And I wouldn't actually be surprised, because he's on those mediums. He's on the faster tyre. That will be used today, the faster tyre in rotation. Max van der Geest makes his way past Tony. They're working together to try to climb up the field. And yeah, they've got 10.3 seconds to catch to Lifebout and Phil. If they don't do that, then they automatically inherit the lead of the race when they come into the pits. They're both going to come in Lifebout almost. I couldn't tell if he was trying to bait Phil into it, or whether he just completely forgot that he was coming to the pits on this lap. But they are into the pits on this lap. I'm sure we'll be seeing Simbarox and Quantum in as well. There's Simbarox. Quantum's going to stay out. So he's doing another lap on those hards. Fastest lap goes to Jay Murphy with a 1:17.381. But at the moment, it's not looking like his race to lose. It's looking like Van der Geest and Tony Rich. Tony Ritchie even. It's looking like their race to lose. Alex Lofer, he's sitting behind, but I think they're just going to use him as a buffer to the top 2. I think they're just going to try and break away Van der Geest and Tony. And at this point, it's up to them. It's up to their defensive performance. 3 seconds worth of penalty for Van der Geest is not going to help him. But we'll see how it goes. 1.6 seconds between them and Murphy as Tony takes the lead of the race. I don't think the mediums will operate for that long, because we saw them start to fall off around lap 8. So Murphy's got 6 more laps on them. Marlon's got 7. So does Sergioli, who makes his way past Quantum, who don't know why he's not coming to the pits. Marlon as well, getting past the Red Bull. And Ryan, looking to be the latest driver to compound the misery, looking to the outside. Quantum cuts that off. But it's the inside, it's the switchback for Ryan as Quantum comes into the pits his race for the battle, his race for the battle for the lead is over. Sergio 3/10 faster than that previous fastest lap by Jay Murphy, and he finds himself in P number 5. 1.6 seconds. It's still stable between Alex Lofer and Jay Murphy. Marlon makes his move past Sergioli. 5th and 6th is now inherited. But it's the top three's race to lose, really, as Jay Murphy. I say that, and Jay Murphy finds 6-7 tenths out of absolutely nowhere. He moves up into P4. And yeah, he's almost within that DRS. As soon as it's into that DRS, they're absolutely done for. Van der Geest and Rich swapping positions. Sergioli and Marlon, and now Lifebout switching positions. So it's an Alpine 5-6. And now as they head through Sector 3, we'll see if they race, or they'll see if they work together. The Mercedes and the Alpines have been very good at working together, not just with their teammate, but with the other team members in the Alpine and the Mercedes respectively. So it's not a surprise to see them working together, but it's very, very good to see. And lap 21 now of this race, the top 4 pack as it is now. And then it's these 4 in a race of their own. But it is now a top 4 pack with Jay Murphy on the rear of Alex Lofer, hoping to make a move at some point soon. Van der Geest, Ritchie and Lofer will be hoping that they're able to hold on to it. Dornax retires in the pit lane, I believe. And so it says yellow flags, but there is no danger out on the circuit. Murphy closer than ever to the rear of Alex Lofer. Closer than ever. 1.5 seconds. No, 1.5 tenths behind as Tony and Max swap for the lead of the race. And Lifebound and Sergioli swap for P5 and P6. Jay Murphy's just hoping to set up a run while those mediums are still alive and still awake. And he's going to make that move here. Late lunge on Alex Lofer. They're side by side. Trying to avoid contact is Jay Murphy, and he's to the inside and to 3rd place. What a move from the Kick Sauber. And he's up into the podium spots, and you feel as though he's going to stay there for the rest of this race. You don't feel as though Alex has that pace that maybe the top 2 have demonstrated. He's just been clinging onto the back like, well, he's been clinging onto the back just about as Dornax leaves the session. Yeah, not his day, and he's the first, hopefully, only retirement of this race. Tony leads Max Van der Geest, leads Jay Murphy, leads Alex Lofer, and then is 1.1 seconds back. But Murphy wants to change the fact that it's a TF10 1-2 at the moment. He looked slightly like he was going to make an overtake. He wants to get a wriggle on. And Max Van der Geest, whose tyres are 13 laps old, and he has a penalty, will be trying to hold up Jay Murphy as much as he possibly can. This will be very, very interesting. Does the team come into play for TF10 for Max Van der Geest? Does he hold off Jay Murphy? It looks like he's trying to break his momentum of some sort. But we don't know yet if that is going to be just for that position, as Max Van der Geest and Jay Murphy will come together. Murphy picks up a 3-second time penalty for an impressively saved slide across the, well, through the final sector. And that could be deemed as controversial. We'll see how that one is decided in the steward's room. But Jay Murphy will have to make that move once again on Alex Lofer for that P3 before he even makes an attempt now at overtaking Max Van der Geest. He's moved past the peak operating window for those mediums, and so that it could go from here very, very wrong. Jay Murphy just staying behind Alex. He needs to make this move quickly then, and I feel like he's going to get that 3-second remove just like that. So it's for him, it's a case of trying to get forward. It's a case of just trying to get back up, and if he feels as though that penalty was unwarranted, he will protest it instantly. Alex Lofer trying to squeeze him to the inside. Jay Murphy says, whatever, I'll go even more inside, and he's going to make that move stick on Alex into the corner and trying to get the exit on both the TF10 boys, but he's not quite got that exit. Sergio and Lifebout swapping positions again. They don't have the pace to get further up. And, well, they're going to have to try to make a move at some point very soon. That was an end plate flying off of maybe one of the Alpines. Yeah, I think that was Sergio, whose front wing went to flying. And now Marlon makes his way past Lifebout into P number 6. Lifebout around the outside trying to hold on, but Marlon just getting that position sealed. Exit, though, goes to Lifebout, and he will try to take the lead in this battle. A late lunge, it's too late, and that allows Ryan in, and they are side by side, wheel to wheel, as they head through the first sector. It's Ryan, it's Lifebout, it is completely matched, but in the end, Ryan is the first one to yield. Everyone's wings gone? Yes, pretty much. I think Gabor, now it's one of the Alpines. I think it was Sergio. Presuming as Ryan moves past. I never said it would. I said he's likely to get it removed. Because I think the contact is enough. Because it's technically not his fault that he cut the corner. But that I'm not a steward, so it's not. I don't have a say on that. But Marlon and Alex Lofer swapping positions. The Mercedes moving up into P number 5, and it just feels as though Alex Lofer doesn't have that pace that the TF10 boys are showing at the moment. Murphy, though, on the rear of Max van der Geest, as close as he has been, looking to the inside line, just moving out, hoping for a mistake from the Aston Martin. It did not come. Still closing in, pulling to the inside line. A huge lunge from Jay Murphy. The yellow flag's out, and Jay Murphy not sealing that position. Just sticking behind, there's contact between himself and Max van der Geest, and a slight wobble, because I said this earlier. Jay Murphy is following so closely in the rear of someone. If they make a mistake, they will just... If they make a mistake, they will just go flying, both of them. And Jay Murphy just staying behind. He's going to try and get the exit on the Aston Martin. They've both got ERS open. They've both got DRS open. And Jay Murphy looking to the outside line. Max van der Geest has the inside. There's contact between Jay Murphy and Tony. There's now contact between Jay Murphy and Max van der Geest as van der Geest tries to squeeze him as wide as he possibly can. But he's got nothing. And Jay Murphy stays ahead, still trailing Tony Rich. And Max setting up a move on Murphy went ever so wrong, because now he's behind Sergioli and he's behind Marlon as well. So now Max van der Geest dropping to P5. I think that is going to be his charge for the podium over. And Tony is left to fight it alone out in P1. Sergioli right on the rear of Jay Murphy in the meantime. He could make this move. His tyres are 1 lap younger. And the Alpine just slotting in behind. They're so matched. All of these drivers are so matched. And Jay Murphy, he's very close to the rear of all the drivers he's been following. Tony breaks away just a little bit, but then Jay Murphy will break back into it. And he'll try and tail him through. But we saw how it went the last time we tried to tail an Aston Martin just a couple of laps ago. It went very wrong as Ryan and Alex Lofer swap positions. Alex Lofer moving further down the order. And you get the feeling that Max van der Geest is going to follow in his footsteps in a couple of laps of time. But down the inside goes Sergioli. There's contact between Alex Lofer and Lifebout. And they both drop down the order. Phil is going to get past Lifebout. Alex Lofer holds on to that P7, but they are certainly out of the fight for the victory now, as there's side-by-side action between Thomas and Adis. Adis around the outside, around the final corner. Thomas holding the inside around the final corner, and he's going to hold on to it. He's going to try to go forward alongside Lifebout and ahead. And, well, Adis gets that move done as well. But Alex Lofer and Lifebout coming together at a terrible time. That 27 in this Grand Prix. So they haven't even really got the opportunity to make those moves back up, especially Alex Lofer, who's on those hards, and Lifebout on those mediums, on those younger mediums. He will be kicking himself because the points, the big points, were on offer for him. And so, and then contact between himself and the Ferrari just went a little bit wrong. Jay Murphy and Tony, though, back up to the battle for the lead of this race, and Jay Murphy is going to want to make this move ASAP. He's fighting as if he doesn't have a penalty, because who knows, he may not have a penalty in the steward's room. As Ace has just said, stewarding will be fun. So we will find out later on down the line. Make sure to follow the Twitter for all of the updates and the final results of this one, as we now head on to the penultimate lap of this race. That was I think that was AGK in the foreground, but now we look to the drivers in the lead of this race. They could actually get tangled up in and around where AGK, Gabor and Matisse are, if any of them make a mistake, but I believe Gabor is in AI mode. Just don't tell anyone. So it's unlikely that he's going to make a mistake. Big lock up from Jay Murphy, but look how close this top 6 pack is, as Tony swerves across Jay Murphy, trying to close off a gap for Jay Murphy behind. Jay Murphy with a big slide that could invite Sergio into the battle. This is a battle that is going to be decided around the final corner. This is a battle that's going to be decided around the final corner. And for Sergio, looking to the outside, not making the move. They're getting a little bit more desperate now. Tony with a huge mistake, and he's cut all the way across the chicane. Jay Murphy also making a slight error, making Sergio tap his rear. I don't know if he lost his end plate or not, but he's going to make that move now. Is Sergio. There's contact. There's a slide from Jay Murphy. There's even more than a slide from Sergio. He drops to P6, P7 maybe. No, that was a lapped car of NVR Chelsea, but dropped to P6. And there's more for the stewards to discuss post-race. Good luck to them. But we head on now to the final lap of this race, and it's yet to be decided. Is it going to be Tony? Is it going to be Murphy? Is it going to be Marlon? Is it going to be Ryan? Or is it going to be Max van der Gies? I think Max is unlikely because he has 3 seconds worth. He is down in P5, but I reckon it's going to be one of those medium runners. My pre-race prediction, Gabor, went very, very wrong, so I'm going to pretend that I never said that. Sergio, 1.7 seconds off. He's it looks as though he may be missing an end plate on that Alpine, and so it's not. It's gone wrong for him at a very bad time. Closing in now. There are 2 more DRS zones to go. This is the first one of them. How close can Tony and Murphy come together? Murphy's going to go around the outside, heading into the chicane. He takes the lead of the race, and Tony is left to rue that error on the last lap, and he's going to hold the outside line. Murphy's going to allow him the space. Tony's braking so deep, so late, but it's not worked out for him. There's contact between himself and Ryan. It's 3 wide behind with Max van der Gies and Marlon and Ryan as well. Max van der Gies sending it on Marlon into the final couple of corners. There's contact pretty much everywhere, as there's a Williams getting involved as well, a lapped one. But across the line, the first winner of CSS Season 5, the first winner of Console Season 5, Season 1 even, is going to be Murphy. We'll see if he can get that penalty removed. But if he can't, then Tony wins this race. He managed to make those hards last an incredibly long time, and the TF10 driver, at the moment at least, takes home maximum points for his team. It's an NLR 2-3. So a strong race from them as well. And I think TF10 and NLR can pat themselves on the back. BRT as well. I mean, Thomas in P8, but Murphy may be winning that race. But it was worked so well from Murphy all the way up to the line, so he can be proud of that as well. OVR 7th and 10th, IRT 9th, and a DNF. But for Tony and for Jay Murphy, they will be very happy with that race. People are having discussions in the Discord about whether that was a legal thing for Gabor to do when he was in AI mode. If you want to watch these arguments, because they might be happening in general, they might be happening in the drivers chat, but join the Discord. It's in the description of the video. Also, give me a nice subscribe. It's KOTKS on YouTube, on TikTok, on anything you want. But we have a victor. Well, we have two technical victors. So we have the one that won on track, and that is the exclamation mark Discord. There you go. There's the Discord if you don't want to go and check the description if you're too lazy to do that. But we have Tony and we have Jay Murphy. Tony wins before the penalties have been added or removed. It is going to be a TF10 race win. The first race of the console ever has gone to Tony. Ryan and Marlin second and third. Sergio in fourth. Jay Murphy in P5. Then it's Max van der Geest, PLX, Thomas, Phil, and Dis rounding out the top 10 with the two Ferraris, Alex Lofer and Carrasco. Then it's Lifebout, Simbarox, Quantum Matisse, AGK, and Chelsea rounding out the finishers with Dornax and Gabor, the two retirements. But I think I don't think this one's over, to be honest with you. So yeah, join the Discord, check the Twitter, all of those good things. And thank you very much for joining tonight. Make sure to subscribe to the channel, follow the Twitter. Look at the link tree in the description. I'm sure Ace has got a shortcut as well. But yeah, thank you very much to those of you who've joined us this evening. We haven't got anyone in the waiting room. But until next time. Until next time, it will be goodbye. It'll be goodbye from me. I don't know whether I'll be back next week. I hope to be back and bringing you some more action. But it may be someone else. Until next time, it is goodbye.